authenticity. This will be a multi-part video or series, whatever you call it. This will go into how when you are authentic with yourself, it'll lead a lot of the times, especially people that you might have grew up with, and to think that you're on drugs, because a lot of these people cannot be truly and authentically themselves well in the presence of others without substances such as alcohol, drug, whatever. Authenticity. You know what? I might just title this video series, I might even write a book, The Authenticity Key. I see a lot of people struggling with authenticity today. Why? Because of the way that culture has formed, because of schools, because of religion, because of this, because of that. People are afraid to express their personal beliefs authentically with others. Because most likely their whole life of them expressing themselves authentically, when they do, they are made fun of, they are ridiculed, they are shunned, they are exiled from groups, from places, from whatever, from their family, from their own mother, from their own father, from their friend, everything. And they have been rewarded for not being authentic. They have been rewarded for expressing themselves in ways that are not authentic, versus being penalized for ways that they are expressing themselves authentically. For example, young people in school, if they speak up with their actual thoughts, they will be told to sit down. They will be told to shut up. They will be told to not express themselves. If they're crying, they're told it's wrong. If they're laughing, they're told it's wrong. Right? Are you seeing what's going on here, people? From a very young age, around 3, probably younger than that, actually, honestly, since the person's born, because the parents have already gone through this process where they themselves have been stripped of their authenticity, expression. So, you're a kid, you want to crawl, you're not allowed to crawl, you're put in a cage, you're put in a fucking, you're strapped into a chair, a small chair, where you're stuck in that position. You're not able to authentically express yourself. You're put in a small confined area, disconnected from the earth, disconnected from all things. I get it. They want to protect. Protection. As we grow older, as we become more authentic with ourselves, we can see protection as a excess baggage, excess things you have to carry, right? Weapons, knives, guns, swords, whatever. You know, body armor. You know, the fortress is its own prison. Literally, like you build a kingdom, like in the sense, all of a sudden you don't feel safe if you're not there. And it's a lot, you could say, quote, well, this isn't word for word, but it might be easier to take over a castle than, for instance, a nomadic people, right? Because there are confines. Yeah, the people with the castle, they know the layout, all these, but these walls can be used against them. For instance, exactly, Mongol Empire, trapping kingdoms in their own, surrounding them and trapping them in their own side until they starve, and then when they're weak, they become conquered, yeah. Now that is an outside physical explanation of this, and I wasn't even going to this, but I see this. The individual becomes trapped in thinking. Exactly. Most people are always thinking in this day and age, and they can't stop. And they're not even thinking their thoughts. They're thinking what they're thinking other people are thinking about them. And then they're acting, quote unquote, accordingly, because they wish to resolve what they think is a problem. You know, it's the oldest trick in the book. Coloring outside the lines, that's a problem. Wearing different clothes, that's a problem. Speaking in a different way, oh, that's a problem. Oh my goodness, looking different, that's a problem, right? Sounding different. Anything different? For, honestly, almost everyone is a problem. And it's not their fault. They've been living this way routinely their entire life. Everybody you know, right? Literally everyone you know. Some people are really trying to break out of these patterns, these thought loops, these negative patterns of unconscious gravitation back into the quote-unquote routine of proper etiquette. You know, think about it. People only walk on the sidewalk because that's what they're told, right? You know, things like that. Like, you can't be jaywalking now. Why? Because that's against the law, so they say. Constitutionally, I believe that's completely null and void, but they say that's against the law. Jaywalking. And what they're doing is conditioning people into believing. And believe, my brother, my sister, this is what traps people. We are conquered, we are trapped, we are ruled by nothing other than our own personal beliefs. This is the modus operandi, you see, of the subconscious mind, is the beliefs that have been instilled by us. Instilled by us. I accidentally spoke the truth. Instilled into us since we were born. We're told, no, 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 you're not allowed to cry, you're not allowed to laugh. You're not allowed to color outside the lines, you're not allowed to crawl. You're a baby, you're not allowed to crawl. You're told to sit in a chair, you get strapped down. Think about it. You might think I'm wrong here. Think about it. You go to a family event, in a lot of families and a lot of cultures, well, not, I can't say real cults, in this day and age, the cult of this, what we're in right now, the baby is put into a little chair thing that's got a handle on it. if they misbehave. And what is misbehaving? That's crawling. That's playing with stones, with rocks. You know, that's like picking up random objects off the... Yeah, you know, we get it. We want them to be careful. We don't want them crawling and getting stuck on a syringe and stuff. You know, but that's a whole nother problem. And that's fear itself. I've been told my whole life, be careful of walking barefoot. Oh, you can't be walking. Gotta wear shoes. You know, by family members that want to protect me. Because they were ruled by fear, by fool, their whole life. I have been walking off trail through literal, like, jungles, through streams and rivers, no fish hooks in the feet, no syringes in the feet. You know, I mean, yeah, I'm not walking through, like, city alleyways where there's, like, epidemics of, you know, opioid crisis, i.e. opioid war, fucking 2025. Oh, that's a whole nother thing. Opium war of this day. So this actually was a video for a reminder of a topic, but I guess it turned into the video.